Oj. This is the Xbox One X, a powerhouse for the money if you will. It hit the shelves back in 2017, which was quite some time ago. But that is the exact reason why it makes too much sense right now. The Xbox One X is capable of native 4K, can play most new games, has Game Pass, all for just over $100. There is a good reason I have two of them. You know, I use my One X basically every day to play my games on. Of the countless gaming sessions on my PC, I was looking for a more relaxed experience. That's when I decided to return to my beloved Xbox One S. But the graphics and overall gameplay experience was a way too big decrease in performance compared to my PC. So naturally I went on a hunt. No silly, not that kind of hunt. A hunt into the mythical Xbox forest. Whoa, this is getting quite dramatic.
Alrighty, a hunt into the mythical Xbox forest, filled with surprises. Eventually, I found an Xbox that met all my wishes, which was until I looked at the price tag. I said, no! As I snuck deeper into the forest. The night drew closer, hope was starting to fade away, until I looked to my right and found the Xbox One X.
Thank you very much, beautiful narrator, but anyways, this console literally checks everything off my checklist. Let's kick things off with performance. The Xbox One X never fails to deliver impressive graphics, even after pushing my 3070 to its limits. Yeah, okay, sure, take that with a grain of salt, but the point is, games looks way more than great with crisp textures and rich colors. This makes for an awesome gameplay experience that rivals the Xbox Series S. Why? Well, the optimization on a good amount of games on the One X are nothing short of remarkable. Graphics in some areas almost looks like next gen. Next gen as in Xbox Series X, not the S, and PS5. Just take a look at Forza, Red Dead, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. All of them looks absolutely gorgeous. The level of detail that in my opinion almost rivals next gen in a good amount of scenes is by far one of the core reasons that Xbox One X is hella usable by today's standards. That paired with no noticeable drops in frame rate is just amazing. In fact, by only comparing the raw GPU power, the One X is more powerful than the GPU in the Series S. And not to mention, but the entire Xbox One lineup shares nearly identical software with the same features found in the Series lineup. But at the end of the day, it's still a last gen console which comes with some drawbacks. Even if the console rarely drops in frames, it is important to keep in mind that the One X support most 4K games at 30 FPS, such as Sea of Thieves or Shadow of the Tomb Raider, while some other games such as Forza Motorsport 7 can run at a smooth 4K 60 FPS. Just take a look at the massive difference between the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S. It's outstanding, fellas. And if you would like to achieve higher frame rate, then with the One X you can opt for the high frame rate mode, which a good selection of games offers and is usually 60 FPS. I played many games on the One X at 4K 30 FPS since I prefer improved visuals. Additionally, several games took advantage of the hardware in this console. This resulted in many enhanced games. To see the full list, I leave a link in the description of all games that are Xbox One X enhanced. And that basically means improved visuals, higher frame rate, or a combination of the two. Okay, so FPS isn't a significant drawback. However, before we move on to the next point, it could be wise to keep in mind that the One X doesn't support ray tracing, as that technology wasn't available at the time. And then we have the CPU. The beefy GPU in the Xbox One X is unfortunately being held back by the slower CPU. That paired with an hard drive means that the user interface isn't super snappy, and you'll be enjoying several loading screens. Xbox One X versus Xbox Series X, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Don't you worry fellas, this won't take long. Oh, and also please keep in mind that the One X is using a hard drive. More on that in just a second. Fortunately, you can enhance the experience by replacing the hard drive with a 2.5-inch SSD into the system. This will make everything feel much faster, including system response and overall loading times. Obviously it won't be as fast as the Series S and X SSDs, but you'll still feel the difference. And if you don't swap to an SSD, then you will be at least enjoying 1TB of storage, which is pretty nice. Another thing I really like about the One X is that it doesn't sound like an A-10 Thunderbolt II attack aircraft JAU-8 30mm rotary cannons while they're in action. Take a listen. See? Low noise, and I haven't even replaced the thermal paste in it yet. Which actually is something I should consider anyway. Anyways, next up, design.
Design is my passion.
This is by many to be considered as the best looking Xbox of all time. And I think I would have to agree. With its matte finish and dense build, it feels so goddamn premium. And let's not forget the port selection, which by the way the One X does a better job at than the Series X. In any case, its sleek and modern design effortlessly blends into any entertainment setup. Or if you're feeling fancy, then why not go with a limited edition such as the Gears of War 5 edition. Me and Big Leo deeply apologizes for saying Gears of War 5 instead of Gears 5. This is a cat. And the Gears 5 edition didn't cost me more than the regular Xbox One X. Which takes us to pricing. I got both of these consoles for around $150, which I got last year. Now I commonly see the One X at a price of around $120, usually in good condition. And sometimes it can go as low as under $100, which is absolutely insanely good value. I'm actually finding fire deals right now. $66 for an Xbox One X. That's like 6 Big Macs and 1 Happy Meal or something like that. Small scratches and working condition. I mean, it's a gaming console, so the main thing is that it works, obviously. You could try to score one of these consoles on a local second-hand website, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, as well as pawn shops. So you might think that you can't play any fresh and modern games on this console. Well, you're wrong. There haven't yet been a significant amount of games that you can't play on the One X, since most games have been released to support both the old and next gen. Games such as Starfield and the new Forza Motorsport are games that you cannot play on the One X, since its CPU is too whack. But if you would like to play unsupported games, then just get Game Pass Ultimate and play via cloud gaming and voila!
Yeah, let's go. Holy shit, Game Pass Ultimate. Whoa.
Not as good as playing natively, but it works. It works. And how's the backwards compatibility? Well, it's alright. Actually, it's good. You can play several 360 titles and a handful of original Xbox titles. Some of them get a nice upgrade, but most roll out with the same performance as it did on their original consoles. Although if you're someone that enjoys older Xbox games, let's take the 360 for instance, then I would get a 360 because they are so inexpensive. Also, as I mentioned before, the newer gen doesn't support every 360 game. So if you're sitting on a fat stack of 360 gems, unfortunately not all of them will make the cut on the Xbox One and Series lineup. Check out the video in the top right corner to learn more about the Xbox 360 experience in today's day and age. So my fellow fellas, the Xbox One X is for those who seek a quality console that offers great performance and shockingly good graphics for a bargain. However, the Xbox One X is not for those who are going to whine about that it's a sluggish last-gen console. Then you simply get the Series S, as it's significantly faster but doesn't support native 4K and overall packs less horsepower in its GPU. And with the lack of a disk drive, the Series S is a big no-no for me. And well, you're right about the Series X being better in every way, but it's 3 to 5 times as expensive. So if you end up buying a One X, you actually get to keep money while enjoying a relatively powerful console. It's a win-win. But if you want to save even more money, then consider the Xbox One S and click the video on the left. Is it still a capable console for affordable gaming, or is it time to upgrade? And here's the 360 video on the right to see why it's bloody amazing as of today. So fellas, I'll see you in one of those videos.